With our darts marked and pinned, we're ready to sew our darts. With the single point dart, you want to sew from the wide end to the point, and you want to put your needle in and backstitch at the wide end. Remove the pins so you don't sew over them. And just sew along the dotted line. Taking out the pins as you get there. And sew to the point. And when you get to the point, you want to leave long threads, because at the point, you're going to tie the ends. Came to a point, you're going to tie a knot at the point, and you're going to clip off your threads about 1/4 of an inch from the end of the dart so that it doesn't untie. And we'll clip off our threads at the wide end too. So here's your single point dart. When you have a double pointed dart, you begin stitching at the center. It's stitched in 2 separate steps. So what we want to do first is start just above the point, put our needle in, press our foot down, sew to the point, leave the needle in, pivot, and stitch up to the point, similar to the single pointed dart. When you get to the point, sew off the edge, and we will tie that end too. Clip the threads so it doesn't get too messy. And then we turn this over. So you can see here, you start in the center and you sew up to the point. Then we're going to go in the opposite direction. We're going to turn that over, overlap. You don't do any back stitching on this because it would make it too thick and bulky. So you're going to sew down to the point, needle in, pivot, and sew up to the point. And sew off at the point, and then at both ends you would tie those ends. I'll trim these stitches. So you can see there that I've overlapped in the center, and I will tie those ends. Now, what we also want to do is sew a dart on the vest. And when you have 2 darts, and we do here, what you want to do is make sure that they're the same length. Okay, so I've compared them, they're pinned the same, and they're ready to sew. So you start at the wide end, just like the sample. Needle in, press your foot down. We're going to go in reverse. Sew to the next pin, right along the line. And remember, it's not a straight line, it's got a few curves in there. Take the pins out as you get to them. And sew to the point. Remove the pin. And we'll tie the ends on this dart, clipping the threads off the wide end, and then I'll sew the other dart. And after this, we'll finish up and press.